UK National President, James Lambert. James, you're very welcome to the call. And I'm also welcomed by a couple of really amazing guys who've been doing some sterling work on this campaign, and we're going to be hearing all about it in just a moment. So Michael Lynch, we've got Michael Lynch here, who was part of our team for the JCI UK National Convention hosted in Belfast in November 2019. We've also got Chris Dickinson here. So Chris, you're very welcome to the call tonight. We're really looking forward to hearing your thoughts. So let's get straight into it. So maybe Michael, if you could start by telling us what the initial inspiration to work with Care for Calais was, that would be awesome.
Certainly, and thanks for the opportunity to tell you a little bit more about it. We were certainly blown away by how the generosity of our communities in gathering all these donations. So it's great to have the opportunity to tell you a little bit more about it. I think the initial inspiration came from the fact that in light of the current pandemic, JCI as an organization founded on the principle of wanting to have a positive impact in our respective communities. We felt that there was this need and this desire to try and do something and to play our part. Funny enough, we were actually due to hold a workshop before the world collapsed about establishing needs and to try and figure out what and where in our communities we can have an impact. And we had a bit of a brainstorming session, and we were doing a bit of research to try and see where we could play our part in communities. And we established quite quickly that there was a lot of really cool organizations already on the ground, already in communities, trying to help with food banks, food deliveries, helping elderly neighbors, etc. And we started to then think a little bit more about maybe what else we could do. And taking in one of the pillars of JCI and helping also on kind of an international perspective, we started to also look a little bit further afield. And in one of the brainstorming sessions that I had with Chris, who you'll hear from in a second, Chris brought up the fact that the camps in Calais and in Dunkirk in northern France, even though the coronavirus pandemic had yet to hit there, there is a real sense of vulnerability from just the fact that you're living in an environment where, let's say if you live in a tent, it's not a very feasible way to socially distance or to maintain the sanitary conditions that were all expected of us. So in terms of the aesthetics of a camp, it's evidently not something that is befitting to a pandemic. So we thought, well, potentially is something that we could do there and help. And then looking at it and brainstorming a bit more, we also realized it's a time where a lot of people are at home. It's also a time where a lot of people are wanting to try and start their spring clean, and there may be a piece around trying to encourage and kind of motivate people to do their spring clean. And because all the charity shops are closed, maybe we can filter that to a good cause and to a need in the community. So we established this idea with working with Care for Calais, who we had reached out to. We established a number of different needs from them to try and have a direct impact to help combat the coronavirus pandemic. And that was to try and collect tents, sanitizers, food, sleeping bags, other camping equipment, things that would help make the conditions in these camps just a little easier, especially in light of these circumstances. We could get this from our community and then look at the logistics of getting that across to Calais.